Hello there. Today let's give you a mini Gaura tour, seeing what they look like at this time of the year in the summer, also what they look like their first year of reseeding, and also what they look like in a few years to several years in your garden. So that way, if you are new to growing Gaura, you can have a good idea of what they look like in your landscape. All right, so this is what they look like in the summer. This is zone 8A in the south. They are getting their second flush of blooms. First time in the spring around May, and now we're in August, and this is what they look like. So a lot of these have been in the ground for, I would say, 3 or 4 years now. These were transplanted initially in the fall of 2021. So this has been here several years. Same with this one. If we come to this side, this has been here for a few years now. This has been here for a few years now. Now, I will say I don't keep track of them, unfortunately, so I do not know exactly. But I can tell you that this was a reseeder this year. So you can see how big it has gotten, and next year it's just going to be bigger. It is getting more shade than it wants because of the lemongrass. Now this is also a reseeder that came up this year. And you can see it's more wispy, not as many stems. So you have one main stem. Well, there's one main stem, and you have some branching from there. And I decided to transplant it here. It was a reseeder, but not here. It was somewhere over there. So I thought it would be fun to have it in between the lamb's ears. And I think it looks so unique, looks fun. Ignore the containers in the background there. Let me see if I can give you a better shot without the containers. So there you go. This is the same thing, a reseeder. Decided to put it in between all the lamb's ears. And both of these will be a lot bigger and stronger next year. This has been here for at least 2 years now. You can see there is more branching going on. Let's see on the bottom there. So you can see there are multiple stems. So as it gets older and older, you can see more branching and more stems coming up. So this one doesn't have as many reblooming blooms, but they are coming. You see that? So they will be here soon. They will be opening up. Those are buds. So after the first year, they should be more branchy and have more stems. In my garden here, I do not fertilize any of them. They get what they get from the soil that we have, and we do have clay soil, which contains a lot of nutrients. Just based on what I know about GAURAS, they do not like fertile soil. They like soil on the lean side. And this year, I came to realize that they enjoy having a lot of rainwater as well. So they can go through a period of drought too. Let's give you an overview so you can see what they look like in the landscape. They are see-through plants. What you will also notice is that some of the branches and stems have turned reddish or more like fall color. You can say it that way. So you will get fall interest with GAURAS. Later on in the winter, they will die off the upper stems and branches, and they will essentially look dead and brown. Basically, they will die. And you'll get nice, fresh, new growth in the spring. So you'll get spring interest, summer interest, and also fall interest with GAURAS. They will pair well with plants that when you look through, you not only see the other plant, like in this case, the zinnias in the background, and here you have basil, and there you have the autumn joy sedum. So you not only see their blooms, but you also see through the background plants. So make sure you want to see what you want to see beyond the GAURAS. Look at these guys. They are under the Chinese snowball viburnum, and it doesn't look like these guys are going to be reblooming. I think they're getting a little bit more shade than they want. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. So this one is at the outskirt, at the border, and you're seeing a little bit more blooms. But overall, these are not getting what they need. I'm not sure what it could be. It could be the shade, could be other reasons, but look at the fall interest. Very pretty. Here's another one that has been here for at least 3 years now, and it is showing more blooms. It's still under the canopy of the Chinese snowball viburnum, so not sure why this one has more blooms. But anyway, it is beautiful. In the background, you have the white salvia. Right here in the berm rock garden is the pink gaura. I only have 3 of these this year, so pink gauras are rare in my garden. There are some reblooming ones, and other blooms are going to be coming in later. Now they don't bloom, if I forgot to mention it, they don't bloom as profusely as they do in the spring. So the reblooming ones in the summer going into fall are very limited. This one, I would say it's at least 2 years old, and it likes this spot a lot. This was transplanted in the spring of this year. I did not expect it to do well, but I babied it every single day for at least 14 days or so to make sure that the root would establish, or the roots would establish themselves. Look at the branching and look at the stems. If we come up, you can see they look really pretty in the light. We're not getting any light right now. So you can imagine if you have ground coverage on the bottom there, it will, or it would stand out really nicely. And there's fall color already. I do have another one. Here is another one hidden by the lemongrasses. This was a reseeder that was transplanted here, and next year it's just going to be a lot bigger. Here is the last pink gaura under the canopy of the rosemary. This is a reseeder as well this year, and I didn't want to transplant it yet because I wasn't sure if the previous two you saw were going to do well, so I wanted to keep this safe. So it is doing good, still alive, but it is getting more shade with the rosemary and now the sedum here. So they do like full sun. So as you can see, this never really took off. It is getting more shade than it likes. See that? It's way in there. And the pink gauras, they are harder to get them to grow very healthy for some reason. And they don't reseed as readily either compared to the white ones. If I did not mention, the white ones are called graceful white gaura. I fell in love with gaura when I first saw it in a video. I thought it was the coolest plant, being so wispy, and the fact that it was drought tolerant. I wanted plants that could stand on their own without too much work from me as far as watering goes. So I bought my first, I would say either I bought one plant or two in 2020 at the time when GAURAS were not that popular, and I'm glad that more people are growing them now. And I think maybe when I saw the pink one, I went and got it right away. So I'm glad that I'm able to have these, and with just one or two white one, and then I don't know if I bought one or two of the pink ones, but I know I bought one for sure. I'm able to get GAURAS right now, and the white ones reseed very readily, unlike the pink ones. So the pink ones are very rare for me to get new baby plants every year, and it could be different for you. It's just based on my experience here. The pink ones are more rare to come up every year, and they require, well, I wouldn't say they require, they just seem to not be as reliable every year. So I don't know if they're not going to do well the following year. So they are very fickle and very sensitive or vulnerable versus the white ones. We are in the front garden right now, and look at this gaura. Look at all the blooms right now. So this is something that you could expect with a gaura that is doing what it's supposed to do. So we are in the summer now, and look at how big this is. This is at least 3 years in the ground. Look at all the branching and the stems. Just imagine if you see lighting from the back or the front, you could see how it could light up the space. I'm actually bummed out that we are not seeing any pollinator activities because they attract a lot of bees, different types of bees, bumblebees and carpenter bees and all the other bees. It's so funny because they look like butterflies, but they attract bees. I don't think butterflies like this plant so much. I don't think I've ever seen butterflies actually landing and doing what they do with the GAURAS. So this is closer to the house, and it's a possibility that because it is closer to the house, it gets a lot more water from me than the ones that are way out there. So they do like water as well, even though they can go through periods of drought. If we come to this one, this is in a container. This is the container that I did. I think it was last year, and it's not doing bad. You see blooms there. It doesn't do as well in the container simply because it does have a tap root. So I'm pretty sure it has filled out to the bottom of this container. It would definitely do better with a deeper container to accommodate its tap root. But not bad at all. I will be transplanting this to the ground next year in the spring sometime, or even late winter. Let's have you take a look at what these two look like in the landscape with all the other plants. Here it is from a different angle. So I hope you were able to enjoy this mini Gaura tour, and you were able to see what they look like in the landscape after 1 to several years in the ground. Also, if you are looking for a drought-tolerant plant, a plant that is whimsical, that sways with the wind and also attracts pollinators such as bees, this might be a great plant for you to have in the garden. It is one of my favorite plants in this garden for sure. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video, and until the next one, take care and bye for now.